She talks to you. She laughs with you. She stays. But there are three things she will almost never say out loud, not because she doesn't feel them, but because saying them could change everything. Why women don't always say what they feel. It's not dishonesty. It's emotional intelligence mixed with fear. A woman learns early that saying too much can make her feel exposed, misunderstood, or taken for granted. So she chooses silence, not because she doesn't care, but because she cares deeply. Love makes women careful, not loud. When a woman truly loves, she doesn't want to pressure, control, or overwhelm. She watches, she feels, she adjusts, and she keeps some truths hidden, especially the ones that make her vulnerable. The first uncomfortable truth: the more she loves you, the more she protects the connection, even from her own words. Because love, for her, is not about winning an argument. It's about preserving emotional safety. What you need to understand before hearing the three things: these are not complaints. They are not demands. They are not manipulation. They are quiet truths formed in moments when she is alone. And once you understand them, you stop misreading her behavior. Why this matters to you as a man: because many men lose emotional connection not through betrayal, but through misunderstanding silence. They hear calm and think, she's fine. They hear quiet and think, nothing's wrong. But silence often carries the deepest emotion, the space where love hides. A woman expresses love differently, through patience, through loyalty, through emotional presence, through staying when it's easier to leave rive. Words come last. This is not about gender, it's about emotion. Anyone can feel this way. But women are often taught to soften their needs, minimize their fears, and carry emotional weight quietly, especially with the man they love. Important pause, let this land. If a woman is still present, still caring, still trying, there is more she feels than she's saying. The truth she rarely says. She won't say it directly, not because it's unimportant, but because asking for it feels risky. What she feels is simple, yet deep. Please don't take my presence for granted. Why she doesn't ask for reassurance. A woman doesn't want to beg for attention. She wants to feel wanted, not tolerated, prioritized, not convenient, chosen, not assumed. So she stays quiet and watches how she measures love, not by grand gestures, but by small, consistent signals. Do you notice her mood? Do you listen without distraction? Do you protect the connection? Love, for her, lives in consistency. Why her silence can be misread. When she stops asking, many men think she's satisfied. But often, she's adjusting, lowering expectations, managing disappointment, preserving her dignity. The moment she feels unseen. It doesn't happen all at once. It happens in moments, when she shares and feels unheard, when effort feels one-sided, when she gives more than she receives is. And she doesn't complain, she absorbs it. Why she stays even when it hurts? Because love made her patient. She believes, if I understand him, he'll understand me. But understanding without reciprocity slowly drains her. The emotional consequence. When a woman stops asking to be chosen, she starts preparing to leave emotionally, even if she's still physically present. Important pause. If she is calm, loyal, and quiet, don't assume she's fulfilled. Ask, notice, choose her intentionally. The fear she never voices. She won't say this easily, because admitting it feels like betrayal. But deep inside she wonders, will loving you cost me who I am? Why this fear exists? Love makes her soften. She adjusts. She compromises. She considers your feelings first, not because you asked, but because she cares. Over time, that care can quietly erase her own needs. How she starts to disappear. It's subtle, She speaks less about what she wants. She avoids conflict to keep peace. She shrinks parts of herself to fit dumb. And she tells herself it's love. Why she doesn't complain? Because she doesn't want to seem demanding. She doesn't want to sound ungrateful. She believes love means endurance. So she stays silent and hopes balance will return on its own. The inner conflict she carries. She wants closeness, but not at the cost of her identity. She wants connection, but not self-abandonment. And she struggles to express that without feeling selfish. What she secretly needs from you, not control, not permission, but reassurance that her voice matters, her independence is safe, her growth is welcomed. She wants to be loved as herself, not reshaped. The moment this fear becomes real, if she feels unseen long enough, she starts reclaiming herself quietly. Less sharing, less softness, more distance, not punishment, protection. Important pause, let this land. If a woman feels she must choose between love and self, love will eventually lose. The silence most men misunderstand. She doesn't yell. She doesn't threaten. She doesn't beg. She goes quiet. And that silence is not peace. It's exhaustion. Why she stops explaining. She explained before. She hinted before. She tried to be understood. But repeating pain feels worse than carrying it alone. So she stops talking. Not because she stopped caring, but because she stopped hoping. What her quiet really means. Her silence says, I've already fought this battle inside. I'm protecting what's left of me. I don't have the energy to convince you anymore. This is not manipulation. It's self-preservation, the most dangerous phase in love. Anger still wants change. Silence wants peace. And peace without you becomes an option, only when she's emotionally tired. Why this is hard to reverse. By the time she withdraws emotionally, she has already grieved the relationship privately. She's not deciding anymore. She's detaching. What she still hopes you'll notice. Not a grand apology. Not dramatic words. Just one thing. Presence. Consistency. Effort that doesn't need to be requested. The truth most men realize too late. She didn't leave suddenly. She left slowly while staying. And when she finally walks away, it feels sudden only to you. Important pause. Let this sink in. If she is still talking, there is still hope. If she is quiet, listen carefully. Final realization of this series. The three things she never tells you are not secrets. They are needs. And love survives only when those needs are felt, not guessed. This is where love either deepens or ends. If you've listened this far, you already know something important. She wasn't complicated. She was quietly asking to be understood. What she never wanted to say out loud. She never wanted to say, "Fight for me," because real love doesn't beg. She hoped you would feel the shift before words were necessary. Why women leave emotionally first. A woman leaves in layers. First, she tries to understand. Then she adjusts herself. Then she grows tired. Finally, she lets go. By the time she walks away, she has already mourned the relationship. The most important truth for a man: if a woman feels safe being herself with you, she will stay through storms. But if she feels unseen, she will eventually choose peace over love. Not out of anger, out of self-respect. What actually makes her stay? Not control, not jealousy, not intensity, but emotional presence, consistency, respect for her individuality. Love that feels stable lasts longer than love that feels dramatic. If she is still there, and she still talks, still shares, still tries, that means there is still space to repair. Listen without defending. Show effort without being asked. Choose her without reminders. If she has gone quiet, don't rush to fix. First, understand. Because once emotional safety is broken, only consistency rebuilds it, not promises. The final message of this series: a woman doesn't fall out of love suddenly. She falls out of hope. And hope returns only when actions change. This is not about regret. It's about realization. This part is not meant to hurt you. It's meant to wake you up. Because many men don't lose love due to lack of love. They lose it due to lack of emotional awareness. What she was ready to give. If she felt safe, if she felt chosen, if she felt she didn't have to disappear to keep peace, she would have given. Loyalty without fear, softness without hesitation, love without holding back and stirred. Not because she had to, but because she wanted to. Why she never asked for more? Because she didn't want to be too much. She believed, if I matter, he'll notice. She trusted your awareness more than her words. The saddest part of silent love. She wasn't asking for perfection. She was asking for effort that didn't need reminders. And when that effort didn't come, she stopped asking what this series was really about. Not women, not men, but emotional responsibility, the ability to notice shifts, read silence, and respond before distance becomes permanent. If you're still with her, this is your moment. Not to explain, not to defend, not to promise, but to show up consistently. Love repairs through behavior, not speeches. If you've lost her, this is not punishment. This is information. So you don't repeat the same pattern with someone new. Awareness is how cycles end. The final truth. A woman doesn't want to be chased. She wants to be felt. And when she feels felt, she stays. This part is about aftermath. Not breakup, not closure, but what happens inside her after she stops trying. Because when a woman leaves emotionally, she doesn't disappear. She transforms. The version of her you never met. You knew her when she was soft, when she explained herself, when she waited, but you never met the version of her who learned. I won't beg for understanding again. That woman is quieter, stronger, more selective, and she doesn't love the same way anymore. What she realized in silence. She realized love without safety feels like anxiety. Explaining yourself repeatedly feels like rejection. Waiting to be chosen feels like self-betrayal. So she stopped. Not suddenly, slowly. Why she didn't warn you? Because she already had. In patience, in pauses, in the way her voice changed. Her silence wasn't confusion, it was clarity forming. The moment she let go, it wasn't dramatic, it was calm. That's how you know it was real. Because when a woman truly lets go, she doesn't fight. She accepts. And acceptance ends attachment. What most men misunderstand. They think she left because someone else. Distance. Timing. No. She left because she felt alone. While being with you, that loneliness teaches brutal lessons. Why she won't come back the same. If she returns, it won't be to fix the past. It will be to test the present. And if she senses the same emotional absence, she won't explain again. She'll walk. Faster this time. The hardest truth of all. She didn't stop loving you. She stopped abandoning herself for you. That decision changes a woman forever. For the man listening right now, if you recognize yourself in this isn't shame, this is awareness. Because emotionally mature men aren't born. They're created through reflection. Final pause. Ask yourself, did I notice her evolution? Did I grow while she was growing? Or did I assume she'd stay the same? Love doesn't end suddenly. People do.